Well, so we meet again. Here we are. Yet again. The title of the stream is I don't know, I couldn't really come up with a title, so I don't know, it just came to something random, so I just put it. It's not there is no theme, you know. It's not gonna be the theme of this stream. We're not talking about sleep paralysis, although we can. We can talk about anything, right? But Ivan says, I miss sleep paralysis after I stopped getting scared of it. I remember enjoying the buzzy, floating feeling you get. Yeah, that's the crazy thing is, I mean, same thing for me too. As soon as I just stopped giving a fuck about it, and I was just like, all right, possess me, demon. And then he just left. You know, it's weird. Something weird's going on with sleep paralysis. I don't know what that whole thing is, but um, yeah, it seems that when you stop getting scared, the demon just no longer cares for you. He only feeds, the sleep paralysis demon only feeds off of your fear. Just another, just another, looch farmer. But, anybody have sleep paralysis here? Hmm. Isaiah says, Isaiah sends the $5, starts us off, and says, Marsha, I'm scared of your chat because they all hate me a lot. Very mean people. Today I'm going to give you money and I will watch replay. Take it easy. All right. Appreciate it, Isaiah. Sorry, the chat is mean. It's just the chat is the chat. It is it's as free of a chat as you're gonna get, I feel like. So Zombie Bombs sends the $5, says shut the fuck up, Isaiah. Nice. 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 Beardly, yeah, the beard's coming in, you know. Still haven't shaven. It's all right, you know. It's all right. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. I might just never cut my hair or my beard ever again. So until the chat says, please, for the love of God, cut it. Until you guys are literally throwing money at me to cut it, I'll continue to grow it. Marshall, what do you think about Raymond getting banned from YouTube? Also, what's good? What's good? What's good, Luke Kibbles? I don't really have any thoughts about Raymond getting banned from you. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, he, you, you only really have one person's account of it. I mean, it's just Raymond's. So, um, I don't know what he did that was so bad to get banned from YouTube. I mean, I mean, you don't have free speech on YouTube, so there are certain like rules that we all have to abide by, even though we don't like it. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it much, to be honest. You guys, if you guys should follow him on Kick, though. He streams over on Kick. If you miss Raymond. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, man. That shit's wild. But what did he? You are the theme. Hi, Marshall. Hello, Library Cop. Hello. Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. How's everybody been these last few days? Good? Terrible? Worst days of your life or nah? All right. How much money to shave on stream? Well, I've already said that if I do a live stream that's 4 hours, I should probably put this in the description, but if I do a live stream that's 4 hours, it doesn't make at least $100, then I'm going to shave my beard. I stand by that. So, to shave it on stream, I don't know. $100. Set a price. What is sleep paralysis? You never had sleep paralysis, Matrix Invader? It's when, man, you're lucky. You're lucky, man. Sleep paralysis is when you're basically awake, actually. It's kind of a misnomer. You're not really asleep, you're awake. But your body is paralyzed because your mind is awake, but your muscles are not. So your muscles are still in like, they think you're like deep sleeping, like REM. And or maybe not REM. It's the one where your muscles, where you're paralyzed, where you just don't work. But your mind is awake. You are actually awake. And then, if that's not terrifying enough, what most of the time happens is there's a demon in your room or in your bed. Some people describe it as like a dark, sort of blurry figure in a corner of the room that gets closer, that you're terrified of. There's also one. I had one where it was like they were right behind me and they were like grabbing me, grip me like super tight. The grip was like insane. The grip is like a grip that was just not even of this world. It felt like an an interdimensional grip. It just felt like it was not, it was alien. It was an alien grip. And then it was like growling right behind me, and yeah, terrifying stuff. But the most terrifying one I ever had was when I finally was just like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even give a shit. Kill me, bro. What are you gonna do? I'm not afraid of you no more. Do something, bro. That's literally what I was doing. I was like sleeping there on my side. He's spooning me. Demon's dick is literally inside my ass. He's got the grip on me. I feel his breath on. I can actually feel breath. I can feel breath. Dead ass. I can feel breath. It's a deep like growl. There's like a deep just like demon shit, right? And like, hair standing up on the back of my head. And I was just like, all right, bro, fucking take me then. Take me. I don't even give a shit. I was living in the ghetto, Crenshaw. of LA, which is basically where they filmed Training Day, if you don't know. The straight ghetto, son. Bars on the windows, bars on the doors. Just all my neighbors were just riff to the raff, just all up to no good. Just loud ass music bumping, basses thumping of cars that were just falling apart as they ricketed down the street. Just gangs just hanging out in the cul-de-sac. It was just, I was just like, bro, I'm like 27. I think it was during COVID too. I was like, I'm 27. The world shut down. I make like, what was it, like $16 an hour. I drive Lyft. I don't know what I'm doing. Kill me, bro. I had to get no girls. My dick doesn't work. Kill me. I don't even care. There's nothing left. I failed at this. Obviously, I went wrong somewhere. I failed at this. Not everybody gets to complete the game. Not everybody gets to, win the game. Or some people suck. Some people suck at the game. I suck at this game, so just kill me. And as soon as I had that attitude, sleep paralysis demon never visited me again. Never again. He was gone. R.I.P. Miss you. Miss you, dog. If you're out there, if you're watching this, love you. Love you. We had maybe I was a little harsh in our last moments. Maybe it came off as if I didn't like you, but I love you. You can come back anytime. Fuck me in the ass. It's cool. It's all right, man. If you're out there, how's the job search going? I'm not job searching. Why do people just make things up? It's hilarious, the ideas that just people make up in their own mind by like watching a part of a video or something. Like people will just watch like parts of videos of mine, and then they'll just construct an entire reality that's like not even real of my life. And then they'll ask questions based on like this narrative that they've cooked up in their brain. How's the job search going? Never been a job search. So there was one guy who was like, he commented, he was like, which doesn't make sense. This literally does not make sense, bro. It was on one of my videos, I can't remember which one. And then he was like, he's like, nice, dude. I've been vegan for 11 years. It's nice to see that you're giving it a try. Oh, God. You gotta love just casual viewers that just have no idea. It's just like, oh, yeah, I'm giving it a try. No, actually, me too. Actually, I've been vegan for 11 years too. So thanks, man, for the completely just dumb, irrelevant comment. Glad to see you're giving it a try. Dude. You're an idiot. You're an idiot, bro. At least watch the entire, like, figure out what the entire story is. If you don't quite know what the entire story is, why don't you just fucking not comment? You know what I mean? Don't comment unless you actually have been reading a few chapters of the book of Marshall. You know what I mean? You like come in on like page like 185 and you skip down to like the third paragraph and read like 3 sentences. And then you're like, oh yeah, like I totally know what this book's about. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you're just, holy shit. Any internet clout yet? How's it play with the ladies? No. What? How's it play with the ladies? That's an interesting question, actually. Why was Raymond banned? I don't know. Because he said some heinous shit or something. I don't know. He broke the rules, broke the guidelines. He had a couple strikes and then he had a third one. He had 3 strikes within 90-day period. I think that's the only way. That's the only way you have that to do it. I don't know. I didn't think anything he was saying was like that crazy, but I mean, it is what it is. None of us are free, man. None of us are free. Do you want to get rich? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to get rich. Do I want to do what it takes to get rich? No. Sleep demons actually complain that Hani Ram haunts them in their sleep. Interesting. Interesting value in you. I haven't heard that. That's the first time I'm hearing that. That's interesting. She's definitely haunting a bit. She's a bit haunting. She's haunting me, bro. Rather, the lack of her is haunting me. She still has yet to respond to my previous email that I sent. It's got to be like 3 weeks ago now, or like 2 weeks ago. It's over 2 weeks. Holy shit. It was going well, too. It's going well, and then she's poof, gone. It's like, damn. What could have been, honey? What could have been? Oh, we have Isaiah in the chat. That's weird. I thought you were gonna watch the replay. Isaiah, does your word mean anything? What does your word mean, Isaiah? That's my question. Does it mean anything? Anything at all? My word doesn't really mean jack shit, if I'm being honest. I go back on my word all the time. They say a man's never supposed to go back on it. You gotta be a man in your word. Gotta be a man in your word. You know how many times I've broken that rule in my life? If that's the measure of a man, consider me not one. The oversized meatball says I get sleep paralysis about a few times a month. Once when it first started, I woke up with a sensation of someone petting the back of my head. It was in a loving sort of way. Still freaked me out. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe you got a woman. You got a woman. She was petting you before she fucking sliced your throat. Before she ate your head. Interesting. I never had a loving sleep paralysis demon. All of mine have been very, very aggressive. Very clearly hateful. But you can't hate me more than I hate myself, so. Raymond went nuclear. Yeah, I don't know. All of his stuff's taken down. I don't know. I missed it. Who the fuck is this Raymond guy? What? Legendas. Where you been? Where are you? You in a hole somewhere? So I have been eating animal products for the last 4 days. So there are definitely some updates, some observations, things I want to talk about. Not just that, but also just things in general that I've been thinking about. Yeah, it's been how's it been? Well, the last few days have been very rainy and humid. So I haven't really been able to do anything outside, and it's been oppressive inside. It sucks because the weather is not hot enough to really turn on the AC, but it's not cold enough to where it's cold in here or cool in here. It's right at that mark where like the humidity is actually very super high in the air and it's very humid, and yet the AC is still not clicking on. So it's actually, there's this Goldilocks zone, or rather like the antithesis of one, where like I just get wrecked down here and it's just humid and the AC doesn't turn on and it's not exactly cool. So that's how it's been in here. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. I don't sleep well in high humidity, and I have this dehumidifier going like all the time, running all the time, always emptying it out, have it running all night. So there's that. I have not been able to play tennis because all the courts have been wet every single day because it's literally just been raining like for a week straight. It's kind of nuts. It's about to stop. What's tomorrow? Yeah, so it stops tomorrow. And then we should be good on Friday for me to play the gay Asian praying mantis again. It'll be nice to finally play tennis again. However, there have been some developments in the current state of how I live, or what I've been doing, what my latest thing is. The problem is if we're going by historical evidence, precedents, usually things for me, there's only really ever phases and like nothing lasts. I'd really like things to last, but normally they just kind of fizzle out. So, but that being said, this animal product latest thing that I've been on. So not only am I eating meat, I've been eating steak, chicken. That's it, really. Eggs this morning for the first time. Greek yogurt. What else? Like salads, feta. I feel like I'm losing my train of thought. Okay. So basically, I'm not just trying to eat animal products. I have this idea in my head now. It's a newly cooked up idea. I'm not the first, it's not original. Trust me. Many people do this, but I thought, what I need is to give my gut as much of a diverse assortment of foods as I can. So, lots of color, lots of fiber, lots of just everything, really. Maybe I can read you guys what I this is only 4 days in, so by next week, this might completely, I might never talk about this again, and we'll just pretend like it never happened. But I'm hoping that this lasts. I'm hoping that this lasts. I do feel better. My mood is better. I will say that. So currently in the kitchen, we have red onions, yellow onions, broccoli, mushrooms, bell peppers, white onions, actually, avocados, beets, cucumbers, baby tomatoes, Kalamata olives, spring mix, romaine, no, we don't have chickpeas or beans. We have feta, Greek yogurt, like I said, eggs, oats, assorted nuts, kiwi, bananas, blueberries, raspberries, sweet potatoes, russet potatoes, peanut butter, honey, that sort of thing. So I've been having like really colorful salads with like feta, cucumber, baby tomatoes, what is it, red onion, olives, beets. Really enjoy that, actually. The Greek yogurt I like with like blueberries and raspberries in it. In the morning I have oats. Last night I had, a steak with sweet potato and some mixed veggies, and just trying to eat, just trying to take it up a notch, you know what I mean? Because I've already I tend to think I eat fairly healthy before I even introduce the animal products. I eat fairly healthy, but not quite enough variety. Not nearly as much variety as I'm getting now over the last few days. Um, I always try to eat something green, vegetables every single day, some fruit every single day, but I'm trying to like put that on steroids and just along with the meat and the dairy, just really up all the plant foods and like the fruits and stuff, nuts, and just make it a very like just everything diet. Um, try to make that gut biome as diverse as possible. And I've really enjoyed it the last few days. I have to say my mood is, I think it's better. I think my mood is better. Um, I've gone to the gym the last couple of days. That might be just because it's been raining. I also bought, dude, it's like, I don't even know who I am anymore. It's almost like I'm going back to the beginning when I like was a teenager or something. I bought whey protein and I bought creatine monohydrate. Been taking creatine for the last 3 days. I just bought whey today. When I get an idea in my head, I don't do anything like kind of like halfway or anything like that. I tend to only know either 0% or 100%. Like I'll go too far with things. And I'm very aware that I do this. And so I'm kind of in a phase of like, I know that what's going on right now. Like I know I'm going ham right now. I'm going too far with this stuff, but I do feel better. I feel the main thing I feel is I feel more, I would say chill, just more relaxed. Some of you might find that incredible that I could get more chill than I already am. But I find myself just more chill. Um there's something about like you eating more protein because I never really ate that much protein for these last 11 years being vegan. Having more protein and more fat definitely makes you not have to eat as much volume of food. It kind of makes you there's more sustained energy, I feel like. You kind of feel like your mood is maybe a little more stabilized. You're not as susceptible to like swings of blood sugar or anything like that. It seems like things sit in the gut, things are just digesting longer. So I kind of like that. Um, I don't feel worse. I would say the only negative effect, there have been a couple. The only negative effects from this have been my my stomach is still kind of adjusting, so it still feels it feels just a tad off. It just kind of feels like uh maybe a little, just a tinge like nauseous at times. It's still adjusting to all this stuff. And what would have been wise is to like introduce animal products very slowly back into my diet. But like I said, I don't do things, I'm just very bad at doing things very slowly, and I'm just kind of balls to the wall, like, okay, fully just jump into the deep end and just introduce everything. And so there's an adjustment period here, but it's whatever. I'm also the only other kind of negative effect is that my sleep has seemed to be not as not as good. I'm can't really get to sleep as quickly. Um and Yeah, but it's easier to wake up though. I will say it seems like it's easier to wake up. but I'm not falling asleep as quickly. Like yesterday, last night I fell asleep at 3 a.m., which is rough. And then I woke up at 8:30. It's got 5.5 hours of sleep, which isn't normal for me. It could be the humidity, but I don't know. So yeah, that would be the only other thing. But, adjusting to introducing all these animal products, you have to think that there's going to be an adjustment period, adjustment phase, where my body just has to get used to it. But I don't feel as, my stomach doesn't feel as like bloated, probably because I'm not eating as much like soy-based stuff. Also not eating the volume of food. But it feels like the weird thing is when I eat meat, as opposed to like meat substitutes, like fake meats, it seems like my stomach is just a lot more like flat. It's not as distended. It's not as like it's bloated. It doesn't feel like big. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. So you know, I hate to say that I'm so still just from a spiritual aspect, just not advanced, and I'm still trying to get like a nice looking body, but it's the truth. That's where I'm at. I want to feel good, and I want to look good. I want to look better than I look right now. Um, just like leaner. But I also want to feel good. I think sometimes we assume that feeling good and looking good are you get to those two places via doing the same things or eating the same things. I think there's sort of a balance here. I think if you prioritize looking as good as possible, I think you sacrifice feeling as good as possible, right? Conversely, if you want to feel as good as possible, you probably don't look as good as possible. So trying to find like the perfect balance of looking good and feeling good. So yeah, these last couple of days, I have been lifting weights, because with this whole, I'm eating more protein now, eating animal products. I bought creatine, I bought whey. We're kind of in the. It's like, okay, let's be a bodybuilder or something. No, I just want to maybe build some more muscle, get leaner. But we'll see if it works. You know what I mean? Because like I can't tell you how many times in my life I've tried to do things and like it just never happened. Literally since I was 18, maybe 20 years old, I have not had the body that I wanted, which is crazy. You know what's crazy? So my old friend, she kept like old pictures. She had a Facebook and whatever, and so the time hop or whatever, you could go back in time and see pictures from like 9 years ago, and it would remind you and shit like that. Okay, so I was living with her at the time. This is a couple years back, and she showed me like these pictures of me that I hadn't seen for like over a decade. She showed me these pictures of me, and the crazy thing was, when I looked at myself in those pictures, I looked like incredible. I was like, damn, like I look good. Like I looked lean, I looked like strong, I looked fit, I looked good. But I can remember at the time not being satisfied with the way that I looked. I didn't like the way that I looked at the time. Like not even remotely. I was like, I have to be leaner, I have to be more shredded, I have to be this. Now I looked at it then, a couple years ago, I looked at it and I was just like, nah, like, dude, you look good. So that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how that happens. But yeah, ever since then, ever since I was like 20 years old, I've never been able to like get a good physique. But I was also basically vegan that entire time. So drinking caffeine, drinking a lot of caffeine, vegan, high carb, low fat, low protein. Um, I felt stressed most of my 20s. I felt very stressed, fight or flight mode. Obviously, I've said that before. I was kind of just trying to survive most of my 20s. Uh, did not feel good. I did not feel good most of my 20s. I was literally trying to survive, like my own mind. I had a lot of panic attacks, had a lot of anxiety issues, you know, so it just wasn't ideal. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. But, um, so yeah, we're kind of going back to the beginning here. We're kind of going back to my roots, you could say, and seeing if there's anything that I missed, and maybe trying it again with what I know now and trying to be more well balanced. I never had this is probably the best diet that I have right now that I've ever had. And the weird thing is I actually enjoy eating this way, whereas if you had tried to make me eat this way when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. I probably would have known that it was acknowledged that it was the healthiest way to eat, but I wouldn't have enjoyed eating that way. Whereas now I actually enjoy eating this way. I think that's probably sometimes I think that maybe your level of like your own mind, like your level of consciousness actually dictates your your appetite for certain foods, a more diverse set of foods, or it like the brain gut connection is like a real thing. So if your brain starts to heal or you start to get a more just more aware or whatever, then maybe your gut like sort of changes too. Um, but yeah, like that salad that I eat is like one of my favorite things that I eat. Um, I'm just trying to do all the things that like a woman would try to make me do, basically. When in these times, you have to be the woman as well as the man, because the women aren't here anymore, and there's no women around, so you have to be the woman now. You have to eat what they would cook for you or make for you, salads that have lots of color and lots of diversity, and cooking sweet potatoes and mixed vegetables, and you know, having oats and fruits and cutting up fruits and meal prep, all this stuff, right? I'm like 4 days into it, bro. I get passionate about things in 4 days. When things are new, when you're just starting doing something, feel a little hope right now. I got some hope. I got some hope. It's nice to have a little bit of hope, you know? I feel like there might be a shot for me. Banking on this, I got things working well, so um because apparently we got to be better, apparently we got to be better for these women, apparently it's just not good enough. So we all have to be incredible. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll do everything that we have to, and then probably by that time we won't even need you anymore. Funny how that works. Um, Part of my insane what I've done lately is actually a few days ago I ordered show you. Can you guys see that? It's a pull-up bar slash dip machine or dip, station. You can do push-ups as well. It has a handles on the bottom for push-ups. You can't really see it, but yeah. So I put that together. It took me fucking It took me like 3 hours, bro. It was nuts. I did not. They should tell you how long things are going to take to build. I mean, they probably did, but I just didn't read it. But I got that before. That was basically like day one of like eating meat again. And I had this idea in my head that I was going to like just do everything body weight, like just sit ups, pull ups, push ups, and dips, and like just build my body that way because I've had such bad experiences with the gym lately. It just feels like I'm dead in there. And then of course, as soon as I started eating like animal products again, I'm like, I don't know, I seem to be like, no, I want to go to the gym. It's weird. It's like, yeah, I'm taking creatine. I'm taking, I want to go to the gym. I want to get in there. Again, I don't know if any of this will last. I'm well aware of this. I've been around the block enough times to know that like my my zeal and my earnestness could, you know, could fizzle out and have an expiration date very soon. And then I'd be like, okay, yeah, again, here we go. But um so I got that thing and it's it's okay. I feel like I can do pull-ups on it, but I feel like honestly that should go to like a kid in the neighborhood or something. I should put that out on the curb because I feel like I'm a bit too heavy for it. It feels like it's going to snap when I'm using it, especially when I do the dips. When I'm doing dips on that thing, it feels like it's going to literally snap. Like the whole thing starts shaking. Like me and the thing are just like shaking like this. Feels like I'm on a ride, like in an amusement park. It's just like feels like an earthquake is starting. And so I feel like, okay, this is probably for like maybe a guy who's a buck 20 or a buck 50, not someone who's 230 pounds and only getting heavier because now he's on creatine and that's going to add like, 5 to 6 pounds of water weight. So I built that thing. I feel like I should just, build it for a kid and, just do a service to my community and just put it out on the curb. Hey, whoever wants it. Probably some Mexican, dude. Mexicans, bro. You put something out on the curb, like 5 seconds later, it's just gone. Some like small Toyota fucking truck is just speeding off with it in the back. It's not even strapped in. There's just some like 8-year-old kid just like holding it in the bed of the truck. And just like off in the exhaust is just puffing up like huge black clouds of smoke. You just hear fucking Benny Blanco just blasting. Probably sell it for parts or something. I don't know. But so those are the developments for me. The most recent developments. Um yeah, I have more things I want to talk about. Let's look at the chat. Let's interact with you guys. It's been a while. Been a while. What do we think? Huh? What do we think? Did I miss a super chat here? Did I miss anything? Isaiah sends Isaiah sends the $2. Says, did you win in tennis? Did you see my email song? Again, this is kind of what I mean, like people just kind of making up their narratives, but pretty sure. So I haven't played tennis since I last live streamed, so I don't know exactly what you mean. But the last time we played, I think I had said that on my, go back and watch my previous live stream. Did you see my email song? I did. I did, yeah. Um, I didn't watch the video just because I didn't really feel like cringing. I didn't really want to, but I did read the email, yes. I thought it was amusing. I enjoyed it. Um, but thank you, Isaiah. Thank you. Requirements for men: be muscular, be tall, be rich, be social, be mysterious but not distant, be stoic but emotionally available. Requirements for women: don't be fat. Pretty much. Which makes you understand, which kind of, you know, I don't know. It's kind of our own fault, you know. Why do we have such low standards for women? Why is it we just want them to be sexually attractive? We just want hot ones. I mean, haven't we learned our lesson by now that like we have to start like demanding more, or they're just going to get worse and worse. Can confirm chat is 100% retarded. Did you check the weight limits for it? Yeah, for the pull-up contraption station, it's said that its weight limit is 360 pounds, but again, that's if you just rest 360 pounds on it. Now you rest 230 pounds on it, like I do when I'm on a dip, and then my force of pushing, you know, because you have to remember now it has 230 pounds on it, and also I'm pushing down on it with force. So you have 230 pounds plus the force that I'm putting into it. I mean, I don't know. We're probably close to the 360-pound limit. Already have to pee. Fuck. Um, Guys, I have to fucking piss. I have much more to talk about though. Don't go anywhere. But yeah, my bad. I'll be right back. Uh, I'm actually super sore because I did legs not yesterday, but the day before. And yeah, I'm just incredibly sore. So sore. Like I can barely sit on the toilet. I'm like limping when I'm walking. It's like not good. I also, let me address Isaiah's super chats for goodness sake. Some of these are just, they can't even be acknowledged. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you. Thank you for the 2. Never swimming lessons. You're in the ocean. What do you mean? Yeah, I hope you know how to swim if you're in the ocean. Did you play Halo 3 as growing up? No, I didn't. And I made a GoFundMe to visit Montana. Nice. Everybody donate for Isaiah to visit Montana. I mean, it seems like you have enough money, bro, like to like go visit Montana. I mean, if for the amount of money that you donate to me, man, just go visit Montana. You know what I mean? You hit the gym today? No, I didn't hit the gym today. Today is my rest day. It's kind of why I'm doing this because when I do the gym, I don't know, it just feels like my day's too cluttered to do a live stream, but thank you Isaiah for the 2. Barre? I don't know what barre is, library cop. What's barre? Glutes are killing you? Hell yeah. Um, um, I do have a problem with buying things though. I have to stop buying things. Like I bought that pull-up bar, and it's just like I don't know if I'll use it. I impulse buy pretty much. I have impulse buy. I guess that's a thing for me. I have impulse buy stuff. I did have a Macy's gift card worth $200 from my my dad and my stepmom that I got for Christmas. And so I went to Macy's yesterday and I bought like I think it was like 6 or 7 shirts, one of which I'm wearing. And it's like $170. I did not intend for it to be that much money. Um the gift card was for me to buy a pair of like nice slacks, like pants. And so I kind of feel guilty because I didn't really use it for that. But there's still $30 on it. So I mean, you never know. Something might be on clearance. I have enough shirts though. That's the thing, is like I have enough shirts. My shirt drawer is literally bursting. I have enough shirts, but the thing is, lately I've been feeling like my shirts are fitting more tight. And until I like start to lose weight, who knows if that's gonna happen. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna start wearing big shirts now. Fuck it. I don't even care. I'd rather be comfortable than, you know, still wear larges. So most of these are like extra large. Um, if I'm gonna be fat, then I'm gonna wear fat people clothes. So I did that. I ordered whey protein on Amazon last night, and this is how crazy I am, bro. I ordered whey protein on Amazon last night with a blender bottle, even though I don't really need a blender bottle because I have a bottle that will do the job. So I don't need that, but I did it anyway. Because it's nice to have separate things for it's nice to have separate bottles for certain things, Like this, I never put anything in this other than water. That way I like have to clean it very like sparingly, hardly ever, because it's just only water goes in that. Whereas if I was mixing like protein and like water and then like, creatine and different stuff in there, smoothies, if I was drinking smoothies out of that, then I'm cleaning it and then I need it for water, and then it's a whole fucking thing, bro. Man, first world problems, holy shit. We really know how to just go on and on and on and on and on and find more efficient ways of doing literally everything. But I ordered some whey protein on Amazon last night, and it said it would get here on Thursday, so tomorrow. But then this morning I looked and it said that it didn't know when it was going to arrive, right? So it changed. They're like, we don't know when this will arrive. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll just go to Target then and just buy some. So I literally bought one. And then while I was sitting in the Target parking lot, I looked at Amazon and it said that it was going to arrive here not Thursday, but Friday. So just one day later. I still went into Target and bought one. You know what I mean? Because like I can't wait that long. I'm crazy, bro. Like with some things, I spend too much money. I'm just kind of crazy. I don't really care about saving money. Because like I've never cared about saving money, and like nothing bad has happened to me. Like I'm still like chilling, you know what I mean? Like things are going pretty well, you know? They say you got to spend money to make money, so I'm contributing to stimulating the economy. It's not like it's a purely selfish thing, you know? There is some good in buying things that you don't need at all, because it supports a business, it supports the economy, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've just been buying some weird shit, man. I don't know how you guys shop for food. If you guys you drain everything in the kitchen and the fridge, or in the pantry and the fridge and the cupboards, and then only then you go to the grocery store and you kind of re-up on everything. I am not that way. I don't shop that way. I shop like I can't let anything get low or come close to being empty. So I'm basically going to the grocery store every other day. because I'm always like looking at what is getting low and what I need to replace. So I always have like basically two or three of like everything. And there's always enough food of everything. Which probably means that, I mean, I don't know. The con is that you're going to the grocery store more often than you normally would. Also, the con is you might be spending more money, maybe. The con is also you forget that there are certain things that need to be eaten that kind of get cluttered or hidden. But then the positive is that there's always things to eat. And like you're never stressed that there's never anything to eat at home or something like that. Yeah, I'm just weird. Very particular with certain things. Hala, yes, I also do every other day or 1 in 3 days. Yeah. It's a Virgo thing, probably. Virgo thing, for sure. It's a Virgo thing. Isaiah never goes to the grocery store ever. Library Cop says, Marshall, how can I up the protein I take? I need protein pills. Powders taste like crap. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, mix the protein powder with something that tastes good. So, like, mix it in a smoothie or, you know, that'd probably be your best bet. Like, mix it in with like oats in the morning with like some honey or some peanut butter or something like that. Make it so its delivery system is not, you can't really taste it. Protein pills, I don't know. I have no experience with protein pills. I can't recommend that. Uh, don't be a bitch. Don't be a woman if you are a woman. Suck it up. I don't know. Separate water bottle is a must. See, me and Al are on the same page just because she's she's a Virgo. She understands. She understands. Very particular. Um, but yeah, I've been thinking about by no means am I materially the most well-off man out there. Um, God, these crazy. Um, thank you, Isaiah, for all the super chats. What the hell is this? Okay, weird. By no means am I the most material well-off man out there, but and I know I'm not the best catch out there. I'm really not. I don't think that I'm some great catch of a guy. Uh, but I don't know. It's kind of like what do I want to talk about first here? Yeah, just with women, um, I guess I'll talk about women for a bit since I haven't talked about women in a while. I only talk about women when I feel like talking about women, by the way. It's not a thing where I like force myself to do it anymore. But um I don't know, it just seems like in the current system that we have, you with all the the power that women have in like the legal system and the child custody laws and the divorce laws and all this stuff. Um, the risk is like it's just very real, and also with the economic situation, the money deteriorating faster and faster, it becomes harder and harder to save, right? It becomes harder and harder to get ahead and make a good future, right? And so all of these things kind of combined makes uh, makes it a very unattractive sort of idea or scenario to be with a woman. And it's not even, I don't want to keep bashing women. I don't want to say like, oh, women are the problem. I don't think that it's just like women are the problem. I think it's a lot more nuanced than that. I think, men can be the problem as much as women. In fact, if you really want to be traditional in the sense, men would blame themselves for everything, including how women are today. Should we blame men for everything? Should we keep blaming men for everything? Is that what being a man is? And just take the responsibility for everything? Maybe so. Or is that just a deep form of misandry? Making men think that everything is on them, on them to fix things, their faults if things go wrong. Is that the ultimate form of slavery, of manipulation, of misandry? I don't know. I only have questions, theories, but um, yeah, it just doesn't seem safe, I guess, because I was laying in bed last night, and that was kind of the thing that it just kind of crossed my mind. It was like it doesn't seem safe. That would be the main word that I would use. It doesn't seem safe or wise any longer. I don't know if it ever was, but to to really engross your life with a woman's, you know what I mean? It can be okay to have sex with women, sparingly or socially, occasionally, recreationally, casually, whatever the word is. And you know, maybe let them know where you live, maybe after some time getting to know them, making sure that they're not crazy. But everything just has to be done super slow. Um, because it's very, you have to have a healthy respect for women. You have to respect just, you know, the current environment that you live in, how much power they currently have. Um, and whether or not you think it was we gave it to them or they took it or whatever, whether they deserve it or they don't. The fact is that they do have a lot of power, and you just have to be very vigilant. You just have to be just very careful, and everything has to be thought through here. I would pretty much go so far as to say I don't really think you could marry. I don't think anybody in their right mind should marry anymore in this current legal environment. Um, I don't think that that's a wise decision. If you do, you got to get what is it? I always get confused. Do you get the prenup or do you not get the prenup? Whatever it is where you make sure that you keep all of your stuff. I think that's like necessary, absolutely. Um, I think the legal system with the children has to change, but but nowadays it's not really children. Children's not even a good idea anyway, you know, um, because everybody's just getting obliterated. It's not a wise decision to have kids anymore. Um, yeah, so I would just say that it's not an attractive sort of thing anymore. It doesn't make sense, doesn't make financial sense, it doesn't make legal sense. It's very precarious, very dangerous situation. Um, Very low trust. We live in a very low trust environment. Men used to trust women, trust that they just had to be good, and in whether men are actually good or not, in their marriages, whether, whoever's fault it is, just, I don't know. But you can make the case that, look, if you take women's power away, if you take their power in the legal system away, of course, I think it needs to be reformed a bit. The pendulum swung too far. But if you take it completely away, if you're like a traditionalist where you want, women to not have rights, or hardly any rights anymore, um, to not have legal power when it comes to like child custody or divorce, really. If you want something like really just kind of antiquated at this point, if you want to go back to that, well, the thing is, I mean, it might, the thing is, that system might work in creating, upping the birth rate, right? Women will have more kids. Um, Families will come back. Uh, Women will be getting with men more. Um, but it's all forced. You know what I mean? None of it is consensual. You'd always have to question. I mean, you don't really want a woman to be with you because she's forced to be with you. You know what I mean? And I think for most of human history, that's kind of been the way it's been. It's like women were with men because they had literally no other option. Um, I'm playing a little bit of both sides here because you have to look at it in both ways. You know, I am the first to say that I want a woman that's, submissive and just isn't crazy and not doing all this crazy stuff. And I'd rather that she just have no power in the legal system. And, if we were to have kids or to get married and, all this stuff, right? And just to have a lot less power, not make as much money as me, not be as educated. You know what I mean? But if I want that, then, you know, it's almost like, okay, then a woman's just going to be with you because she needs you. It's not because she wants you. You know what I mean? She needs you from a survival aspect. She needs you for your resources. She needs you for security. She needs you because she got to eat. Everybody will shame her if she doesn't have kids. You know what I mean? It's just she has to. She has to. I don't know if I really like that idea of like women just being with men because they need it, because they have to. You know what I mean? I'd rather it be they're with. I think because of that, it's been like that historically for so long. I think that's kind of the reason why maybe you could say women are, it seems like they get away with a lot more. Like, we only really select for attractiveness. We kind of just, we deal with everything else because there used to be no consequences for a woman being like unhinged or emotionally unhealthy or, these things. I don't know. You could just like, you could just, you just beat her or something, or, just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but, they just had no power. But do you really want that? Yeah. I don't know. Now that women can, be educated and make their own money and do their own thing, they have so much more freedom and power. We're in sexual freedom and abortion, the contraceptive pill. You're seeing that, in conjunction with sort of the economy, the money just deteriorating. You're seeing that, it turns out that they didn't really want to be with most men, and that they don't feel they want most men, um, and they no longer need men. So it's kind of this thing where, both parties they have to get to a point where maybe we no longer need each other, but we want each other. Uh, I don't know. I'm just spitballing, man. I don't have any firmly formed theories or hypotheses or opinions, but um, I don't know. But I will say that, even though I'm not the most materially well off guy, not the most attractive guy, I'm not the most emotionally healthy guy either. I don't know. It seems like it would be very difficult to bring. I've just been alone for so long. It's been, I can do things my way. I have my own schedule. I don't have to worry about another person. Um, it's just simple, peaceful. Um, there's no, and there's nothing that I can't control. Nothing that feels out of my control, that feels threatening to my livelihood. Like, I feel there would be times like that if I was to bring a woman into my life. Um, you know, and also, and a lot of it, or a part of it is, I don't trust my I don't trust myself, with women. Um, I'm not sure I'm emotionally. I tend to think that most of the time I tend to think I'm an emotionally pretty healthy person, just because like I'm more calm than most people, and I don't know. I think I seem to be less chaotic in my mind and more just kind of at peace and navigate chaos pretty well. Um, However, I don't know. It's impossible to know because I'm not. Sometimes it feels like I'm not really tested in the interpersonal sense because I don't really have a lot of people in my life. So it seems like I would, that would definitely be put to the test, and with another person. And the problem with all relationships and friendships, really any dynamic that's interpersonal between two people, is that when there is a disagreement, when you feel like there's something wrong, when you feel like the other person wronged you or something like that, basically the default position is that, well, it's not my fault, it's yours. It's is it what I did, or is it your reaction or your opinion or your emotional handling of what I did? You know what I mean? Is it your emotional state? Is it your internal state? Is it your views that are messing, that are giving you this negative view of what I did? Or is it actually what I did? Is it actually me, or is it you? You know what I mean? So it just all comes down to, like, is it me or is it you? And both parties will, not intentionally, but I think they unintentionally, just by default, they gaslight each other. Um, because nobody wants to think that they're the problem, that they're solely the problem, right? And it seems like, most relationships is kind of like, I don't know how you really navigate that. Um, Sometimes it feels like if I act in good faith and I try to view things from both sides and try to take try to acknowledge that I'm to blame, that I have some responsibility in the ways that the conflict that's happening between me and whoever. It seems, especially with women, I fear that um, they'll just, that what it comes down to is who can convince who of who's wrong. You know what I mean? Is there really an objective, like, who's in the wrong here? You know? Or is it just who can convince who of, the narrative, or the truth here? Um, I don't, and I'm talking about all of these things like theoretically. Like, I don't really have a lot of. The crazy thing is, I talk about all these things, and I don't really have a lot of relationship experience. You know what I mean? I talk about all these things just based off of historical experience, based off of casual experiences, friends, romantic situationships, but nothing. I've never had like a real romantic relationship that was labeled, that I've like lived with a woman for long periods of time. Like, never, never. So I don't really have a lot of experience. That's the crazy thing. Um, but I remember enough to know, and I've had enough with just platonic relationships to know that it still functions in the same way in platonic relationships. Uh, you know, Anytime there's something wrong, and the other party wants you to change, or thinks that you should have handled something differently or said something differently in a different way, thought about it differently, been more respectful, been more kind, been more understanding, been more this, been more that, been more communicative, been all this stuff, right? You know, you act in good faith and you try to do that, but I feel like just too many times I've seen that, like I've said, there if you if you always just want to make sure that there's no conflict, like try to remedy the situation as fast as possible, usually that means that you accept culpability, you accept blame, you accept responsibility for whatever conflict that happened or whatever problem arose. And then from there, it kind of just, it sets sort of a precedent. Um, it's almost like, do women think that, if you're like, hey, yeah, okay, like that's my fault. I should have done this differently. I should have said that differently. I should have been this or I should have been that, right? Um, you know, if you take blame in that situation and you think that you're wrong, right? Whether objectively who's wrong and who's right, it doesn't matter. But if she convinces you that, you know, if she makes a good enough argument that that's the case, and you accept that, then does a woman really think that when she's won that argument or that conflict, does she think, wow, he's really emotionally open and aware, and he's very mature, and he's really kind and like loves me and all this stuff, or does she think, oh wow, I can control him like this, oh wow, like he's easily controlled, that was pretty easy, you know whether she thinks that consciously or not. I mean, a lot of them don't think that consciously, but unconsciously, it's probably what they just make a mental note, like, okay, that worked, and I very much fear losing power to women in relationships. I feel like I run my life very well. I run it very, like, when I'm in charge, like everything's good. When I'm not talking to my mother for years on end, like I've had the most strides in becoming the most well-rounded, I mean, this might come as a shock that I'm most masculine. This is the most masculine probably that I've ever been. The most well-rounded, most developed, most mature, most materially successful. This is also probably the most materially successful I've ever been in my life, with my mother not in the picture. You know what I mean? And whether that's just coincidence, who knows? I'm not going to blame that. I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, it's because my mother's not in the picture. But, I was speaking to her the other day, and I had said, because, with her, I'm very hesitant to let her back in my life because of, just such the powerful effect that she had on me as a child, and as, in my 20s too. I'm hesitant to let her back in because, I told her I just don't trust that I would have the power to withstand you. You know what I mean? I've made such strides. I finally feel like I know what's going on. I finally feel not confused for the first time in my life. That I have, I have a sense of like who I am. I have my own, opinions, and I have a kind of a clear idea of how I want to do things and what's for me and what's not for me. And, um, if I let you back into my life, I feel like you could start to just slowly change my mind about things, maybe. That's kind of, and I told her, like, that's what I'm afraid of the most. And it just so happens told her it just so happens that you not being in my life, me not talking to you, has coincided with me doing the best, from a mental health point and also like materially that I've ever done. So yeah, you know. I feel it sometimes I feel like there's a way, and maybe it's just a pipe dream, maybe it's just a fantasy, but I'm thinking like, man, there's got to be a way to bring a woman into my life and have her like just be in line, like behave, be in line, be supportive, don't be crazy, don't be messing with my mind, don't be doing toxic things, just be healthy, you know? Make my life better. Don't make it, sometimes really good, sometimes really fucking terrible. Just those swings, that swing, I can't do that, you know? That swing is not worth it for me. That swing is what really just, I think that fucks a lot of men, that can really get to a lot of men. And that's like their downfall. It's just like, yeah, she can make you feel incredible sometimes, but she can also just make you, you know, go insane. Is it worth it? I mean, some people, I guess that's the human experience. I've heard Raymond talk about that. Like he said, that's worth it to me. I love all of that. I love the ups and the downs, the bad days and the good. Like I'll take it. I just want that experience with a woman. For me, I guess it's, I would disagree with him there. For me, I don't think that that's worth it. I don't, that's something that I really can't, because I had that my entire childhood, and like it just, it did a number on me, man. It like really stressed me out. And I just, yeah, that's not the move for me. Um, but I think a lot of men like that. And, it kind of makes them feel alive. Women are unpredictable. You know, I get it. It's kind of like a drug, but yeah, I don't know. Whoa. Ty Cruz says, I feel like we're very similar people with similar life experiences, Marshall. Thank you, Ty Cruz. You got to let her know that you can take her or leave her being different. Yeah, that's also another thing that I'm not quite sure about of myself is I think a lot of men withdraw from women and just do away with them entirely, kind of because when they're in relationships with women, they seem to lose themselves. And you start to get really, a woman can hold incredible sway and power over you, and you can have all the ideas that you want of who you are and your own like internal power and internal fortitude and your frame and emotional stability, and you have all these things and these ideas, and but then when you actually go into it, when you're actually in it, with a woman like for real, you'll find that all that was just that. It's just your ideas of it. The real thing is very different. What you're actually made of is very different than what you think you're made of. You know what I mean? That's kind of the point of women is, they show you what you're made of rather than what you think you're made of, you know? Um, Man, there's so much framing. There's so much framing around, like, you know, I feel like we just never talk about how women can be better, and like what what use men are for women, what do men do for, how do men test women? How do women get better from being with men? I guess I wouldn't know because I'm just not a woman, but I don't see many women talking about that subject, which is interesting. Um, but yeah, I guess I definitely, there's a part of me that does fear that I'm not as emotionally stable or controlled or healthy as I think I am. In fact, I'm sure that's the case. And there's nothing worse than being than thinking that the truth is one thing in your head and being shown the truth is something completely different. And that's kind of what women do. That's what relationships do. That's what friendships do. That's kind of what everything does, is it tests you. And I guess maybe that's why I have such a little, you could say, one of the reasons why I don't talk to people that much. I'm kind of a loner and kind of antisocial is because I don't want to be shown the truth that I'm very, you put me around a lot of people and you put me in like interpersonal relationships, and I kind of start to, I, I, I am shown how much I like lack in all this control and stability and peace that I feel I have when I'm just alone, you know? Um, then it's the question of, is it, when you're around people or you're in relationships, difficult, demanding, challenging relationships or friendships, intersocial, work, colleagues, whatever it is, and you start to feel, like this is not a healthy environment, like it's not conducive to what you want to what your values are, or where you want to go, or what you want to be, or whatever. If you start to feel like you want to remove yourself from that, um, is it the people? Like, is it them or is it you? And like, can we say that it's both? Because a lot of people, they blame the world, right? They don't blame themselves. It's all the world. It's everybody else's fault. It's, this person talks too much. This person's manipulative. This person's, an idiot. This person's, whatever. And these people are shallow. These people are gaslighting me. These people are whatever. People don't see the truth like I do, right? Um, and so they just blame it on other people. Or you can go the complete opposite and just always think that it's you. It's just me. There's nothing wrong with what people are doing and what they're saying, and it's just my reaction to it. It's just how I handle it, and um, you know, sometimes I think we have a tendency to skew to one side or the other, rather than acknowledging like both can be true. Like your reaction and your handling of things can be suboptimal, subpar, and yet it doesn't mean that what people are doing around you is healthy or right, and not in some ways toxic. Um, so More living, less theory. Yeah. Yeah, for real. Well, that's just kind of the fear of living is there's just as a man, you like to feel like everything's in order, right? You like to feel like you have control of everything. Everything's within your grasp. There's nothing you don't like to feel out of control. You don't like to, especially with women, you don't like to feel like a woman can derail your life. You don't like to feel like she can wreck your shit. And whether she does that in a material sense or an internal sense, you know. Um, so a lot of that's a lot of the reason, or maybe some of the reason why I don't. I'm just not. I would say I'm afraid. If anything, I guess I'm afraid of women. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of myself when I'm with them. I'm afraid of them. Um, I have a healthy respect for how much power they have. I feel like I definitely do. Probably maybe too much. Um, and I'm well aware, just how much I can, when you start to, develop feelings for a person, I don't know. It's like I want to make sure I get to the point where it's almost like you have to get to the point where like women don't really mean anything to you anymore. It's almost like that's the only way, It's like that's the only way you can be with a woman is like people say, like you can take them or leave them. That you don't really, you don't feel like they're completing you or like they're any sort of necessary part of your life. But then, I mean, a woman hears that and she doesn't want to hear that. She doesn't want to be told, what should we just, woman wants to be told lies, you know, the man that she's in love with, she doesn't want to be told by him, like, I could do without you, you're just kind of here, doesn't want to be told that. She wants to be told, oh yeah, I love you too, baby. Like you're everything. You're my everything. You know what I mean? But then it's almost like she wants to be told one thing, but then treated a different way. Treated with just kind of an indifference, or he enjoys her, but he's not attached to her. Um, I don't know. Women are just a funny. They're a funny being, man. Um, and again, I speak about all of this theoretically from my basement in a chair, and having very little experience in the matter. But I missed some super chats here. Isaiah sends a $2. Says Marshall, I will be in your life starting today. That's creepy. Marshall, I will support you and don't God to change. Thank you, Isaiah, for the 2. Value in you sends the $5. He says, yeah, but Marshall, don't you think a bit of compromise on smaller things is worth what you could gain in a relationship? Being a true team, I mean. Yeah, but Marshall, don't you think a bit of compromise on smaller things is worth what you could gain in a relationship being a true team? I mean, yeah, I guess the thing is, for me, I'm not saying that that's not true. That could definitely be the case. For me, I always fear if I compromise on smaller things, it will just keep going. It will escalate. It won't stop with smaller things. It will keep going to bigger and bigger and bigger things. Um, you know, so, but I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying that's what I fear. And you know, I think I have a lot of fears based off of who I used to be and not necessarily who I am anymore. I'd have to think that, you know, when I'm with if I was to be with a woman, I would be okay, like, compromising on small little things, letting her have her way without, being like, oh, I let her have her way, like I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Like I'm a bitch. I'm a simp. I'm, just a couple hours away from being completely wrapped around her finger, like falling around like a dog. There's definitely a balance in everything. So, it's not good to, obviously I don't want a relationship where I'm telling a woman, like everything has to be my way. You know what I mean? Like she can never get her way. We can never do what she wants. I never do nice things for her, never agree with her, never like be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And like doing what she wanted to do instead, like acknowledging that she had a better idea or was a better decision maker than I am. I mean, I would hope that for the most part, I'm a better decision maker and I have a better sense of what's going on than she does. But it's not to say that there can't be times where she knows what's going on. But that's a weird thing. I guess I feel like it's weird when a woman has a better idea or a better sense of what's going on than you do. Like she makes better decisions. She's a better decision maker. She has more forethought. She has more nuance, more um, she makes more she considers a lot more things in her decisions eh, than you do. I mean, how could what would she get from you? You know what I mean? Like, how could she respect you in that way? Hard to imagine being a man. Um, because then she's kind of the leader. She's kind of the one in charge if she makes the better decisions. So I guess I would just have to make sure, like, it doesn't get it doesn't get skewed. It doesn't get out of hand. I would always want to feel like I'm kind of the one. I don't know. Then there's also this element of like, how much do women know that that's what we want, right? And so they let us feel like we're making good decisions, right? They let us take the chart, take the lead. A lot of women they don't. There's a few different elements to this, but they can. I suspect there's some amount of women knowing, feeling like they could make a better decision or knowing what's best to do, and yet just never saying it because they know that their man that would make a man feel like less of a man. You know what I mean? And they withhold saying that because they love him or something, and they want him to feel like kind of on top of the world or whatever. Um, but then it could also it could also be um, I don't know. Well, how would you? You'd have to, as a woman, you'd have to get fed up of the man making terrible decisions. You'd have to get to a point where you. It's almost like I don't know how women would stay in relationships like that because you'd have to get to a point where you're like you're when you see that like clearly that you could make a better decision or that the guy that you're with is making consecutively like just one after another just suboptimal decisions or that you kind of just have a better sense of what's going on than he does, you know, why would you stay? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't know, because he drives it because he has a six pack and he drives Bugatti. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Um, but there's also a good amount of women that don't, that they're afraid to even, I don't know. I would prefer to be in a relationship where, I don't know, should I mean, is it just, should I acknowledge that women can make just as good of decisions as men? Like, am I still just not, you know what I mean? Like, there's nobody that's, you know, majority of the time making the better or wiser decisions. It's just kind of whoever's better on the day, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of a 50-50 weird thing. I don't know. Depends on if the decisions are objectively wrong. I don't know if I don't know if there are many decisions that are objectively wrong. It's kind of case by case. You have so many thoughts in your head. With my last girl, I was totally willing to let her be the more logical one when it actually made sense. Library cop says, check your email. Hosea sends the 10. He says, hey, Marshall, would love to have you on the show. I don't know what show you mean. GN the gun sends the 10s, says shark or penguin. Penguin all day. Penguin mogs. Penguin's mog shark, bro. Buddy, the greatest philosophers that existed, contemplated similar things regarding women and gender. Yeah. Well, it's just, you know, the crazy thing is, it just seems like there's no end, man. There's just no end. Like, I can sit here thinking about this stuff all day. Part of it is, you know, do I want to sit here and like think about it, or do I actually, you know, just want to experience it? And it's very messy to experience all this that I'm talking about. I prefer to just talk about it. It's almost like I sit here and I'm like talking about it as if I'll finally come to some like some solution, right? Like some solution where I can just like print it on a card and just hand them out to people at like bus stops and shit and be like, yo, just follow this to a T. Women are done, they're wrapped, like it's over. Like they'll just be like, it's like I'm trying to figure them out, you know. I'm trying to just solve once and for all women, you know, so we don't have to do it, so we don't have to talk about this anymore. So this can just be the end. Of, you know, we solved women. It's been solved. You know, they're ours now. Like they're owned forever. Like nothing will. And it's just it'll never be like that because it's just, you know, it's the Matrix. It's Neo and Agent Smith. They're positive and negative opposites. You know, as one gets stronger, so does the other, and you know, they just constantly challenge each other. That's all it is. Sucks. Sucks. Any news about the ED? The ED is not it's not really a thing. Now that the cortisol is not high anymore, not having the caffeine anymore. I think it's all good. Yeah. Marshall, have you ever taken the Myers-Briggs test? Curious what you show up as. Yeah, I mean, I've taken it a few times. I always show up as something different though. I don't know, man. Some people swear I'm like, oh, they're like, you're definitely this. Other people are like, nah, he's definitely this. After being single for over 10 years, I finally tried to get into everything, and oh boy, all it did was totally fuck me up mentally, and getting my peace back is going to be a crazy challenge. Yeah, it's kind of like my worst fear is like not being able to get this back, ruining this. Fun fact, if you overcome lust, you overcome all the power women have over you. Yeah, that is a fun fact, man. It means almost nothing because how many of us have overcome lust? You know what I mean? I've been trying for 2 years, bro. Hasn't happened. Oh, it's easy, bro. Just do this. All right, bro. Fucking anonymous random person on the internet. Cool. Uh-uh. Alice creating words. She went all Honey Rom on us. Does Honey Rom create words? Honey Rom probably creates everything. She probably created the universe. Dick works? Yeah, bro. Yeah. And it's not Johnny Sins, but get the job done. Library cop, don't worry. Thank you for the 5, but I'm never going into the woods with Isaiah. Don't worry. Alice, you took the Myers-Briggs 6 times, and every time you're something different. Yeah, same. Crazy. Crazy that you can always be something different. It's kind of like what mood you're in, how you answer the questions. Because the Myers-Briggs test is based off of what we think of ourselves. It would make sense that that's not a consistent thing. That's not a never changing thing. That is an always changing thing. It's the Myers-Briggs is telling you what you think of yourself, like who you think you are. It doesn't tell you like that's all it tells you. How can you say what somebody is, man? Isaiah sending the $2. Thank you. Send another 2. Thank you. Sends another 2. Thank you. Mm. Yeah, but I'm definitely not as emotionally healthy as I think I am, though. Um, and paradoxically, I think, the more you're aware of like how emotionally unhealthy you are, you're probably more emotionally healthy than most people, right? It's kind of like that. Is it the Dunning-Kruger effect? The more you know, like the less you think you know. And it's that quote where it's like, all the super smart people feel like they know nothing. All the dumb people feel like they know everything. That's the problem with society. Uh, I'm a smart person in this scenario. Yeah. Yes. I'm alluding to that. But yeah, hard to know. Especially when you have, when you have empathy, when you, I don't know, I feel like I care about like hurting people, right? And I just don't want things to be, I don't want there to be conflict, you know what I mean? Um, but the downside of that is like you always fear that your empathy is obviously being taken advantage of. Like you're being convinced that you're doing things wrong when you're not really. You're being convinced that you're hurting someone when really they're just a hypersensitive person, or they're exaggerating how much they're hurt so they can, exercise some power over you, or whatever. So it becomes tough, uh crazy thing is, I think I do this to other people too, you know it's not like I'm just a victim of that. I do it to others. Do it to others. Like how I was talking about my friend that, he kind of so many he has so many friends, and I have like just one. I just have him, you know what I mean? And so it creates um a discrepancy, a huge disparity. Um he just has so much more demands on his time, and he has a ton of people to focus on, whereas I really only have, one friend to focus on, which is him. You know what I mean? And so it just creates this discrepancy. I should probably get more friends. You know what I mean? I get more friends. Um, but it just, I'm always available. Especially now that I don't have an actual job, I'm more available now, and I'm trying to go down there a lot, and um, it is true that when you're more available, when you're always available, when every time if he can fit me into a schedule, he calls me on his car rides and stuff like that, because I'm fitting into his schedule. He's never just calling me, when he's at home, or when he's, whatever. It's always like when he's traveling somewhere, and it's like I'm just feeling the boredom, or I'm fitting into the schedule. You know what I mean? And I give him shit for that all the time. But I mean, the thing is, when you are just kind of always available, it's just, people don't really. You'd think that they would value that. You think that they'd be like, man, this guy's a real one. He's a homie. He's like down. But they don't, it's just kind of like you're treated like you're not a scarce resource, you're a very abundant resource. And so when things are in abundance, they're just their value is basically nothing. You know what I mean? So it's just they assume that you're just always going to be there, and you're on tap. You know what I mean? You're on call. You're on call. You're on tap, and so that's kind of my fault. Is like I have to acknowledge that that's kind of my fault. Like I'm putting myself in that position. But again, like I said, I'm one of these people where my honesty tends to destroy most relationships because I feel like, I want very meaningful, deep relationships. And I feel like that's also what honesty gives you. But, a level of dishonesty is required to keep relationships going, to keep them active, to keep them steady. It's just the truth. Dishonesty it's all a balance. You have two priorities. Do you want to keep the relationship or the friendship active, or do you want it to get deeper? And if you want it to get deeper, you threaten actually breaking the relationship or the friendship, right? If you don't want it to get deeper and you just want to keep it active, okay, well, great. It remains, it keeps steady, it's active, it's current. But what it starts to mean less. It starts to lack depth, it starts to lack substance, and we are always between these two. We are always between these two. And like I said, my friend is he tends to be on one end of the spectrum. I'm on the other. I tend to be more on I'm very deeply I like to dissect things, I like to be open, I like to be honest. However, I'm not always open and honest. Don't get this idea that I used to be a lot more open and honest than I am now, because I understand that a lot of my friendships and relationships just fizzled or broke apart because I was so honest. My honesty really did destroy most relationships, which is why I probably, just hesitate to meet new people, hesitate to talk to most people. I'm probably more antisocial, probably more comfortable with myself, because I understand that my level of what I tend to demand, or what I tend to push, or what I tend to strive for in all friendships or relationships is just, more meaningful, deeper, it tends to like never stop. And I understand that I'm kind of my own worst enemy in that sense. And so I tend to have very few relationships or friendships in my life, but they're very deep, very meaningful to me. And my friend is probably on the other end of the spectrum, where he has a lot of friends, a lot of relationships in his life. However, from my perspective, I would say that this doesn't mean that they're lacking meaning or depth to him. Understand? They can be very deep and meaningful to him. But to me, if I'm looking at them from an outsider's perspective, I don't think that they are. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own tolerance for what is meaningful to them and what's not. That's all subjective. So it's like I can't go to him and be like, yo, your relationships are all like fucking, you have so many of them and they're just shallow, they don't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's not true, because that's not true for him. And that's the only thing that matters when they're his relationships, they're his friendships. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't really mean anything. It just tells me more about myself and how I view relationships. You know what I mean? But what I get on the other end is I just, I don't really have anybody. But that's my own fault, because I prioritize certain things. I prioritize different things. I don't seem to be able to have multiple relationships and friendships that are, casual or just kind of whatever. They don't really. It's hard to maintain that. It's also that's the main thing. Is like it's hard to maintain a a lot of, for me anyway, it's hard to maintain a lot of friendships and relationships. You're always doing something. Like my friend, he's always traveling places. He's always, always calling people, always in a group chat, everything. He's always, there's no shortage of like people he's getting hit up with or, or chatting to him or calling him or, he's flying places, he's going places with people, he's seeing this person and that, you know what I mean? That's a huge demand on your time and your energy. And that's his life path and that's fine. But like my life path is very different. I feel, I feel like a lot of those for the level of relationships or friendships that those are at, if those were mine, I wouldn't think that they're worth it to spend all that time and energy, traveling places and like talking to people and doing this and that. It just wouldn't, that wouldn't have an ROI for me. That would not give me any sort of reward that I found meaningful. Whereas they do for him, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. Just one of those things. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I mean, I have a lot on my mind, I haven't really been interacting with the chat that much. Wolf White sends more hugs, sends $20. Thank you, Wolf White. Thank you. Thank you, Isaiah, for the $2. Library Cop sends 10. Says people that have lots of friends usually say the right thing. I compare them to customer service representatives, don't you think? Yes, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Absolutely. 100%. They are excellent at saying the right thing. Excellent. Because they're used to keeping relationships and friendships going. That's their priority, is to keep it active, to not threaten it in any way. And so yeah, is very customer service like. Absolutely, that vibe. That's a great analogy, actually. Yeah, so it's great for appearance, it's great for the facade, it's great for the veneer, not so great for, meaning and depth, connection. But different people connect on different levels though, like I don't connect on levels that I think most people do. Most people connect on levels that are pretty basic. I struggled to connect on basic levels, but that was good. That was good. Feels fake, yeah. Yeah, it does. It does feel fake, but to them, the thing is, for them, it's not. They don't think it's fake. It doesn't feel fake to them. It just feels normal. Feels normal to them. Doesn't. They don't think anything's wrong with it. What they think is, they think people like us are dangerous or toxic or we upset the equilibrium. We threaten the system. We threaten the structure of things. We're entropic. We are we cause chaos, and they don't really see the need for it. Why upset the? We're all having a good time. We're just. Wow, so much insight. Every cop sends 2. They only do small talk. I can't handle that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is small talk. Yeah, I can't do the small talk. Although, I mean, the thing is, if you know that it's small talk, if you're not really taking it, if you're not looking for anything deep or like, you acknowledge that it's like, Okay. This is going to be some surface stuff. This is just going to be some appearance window dressing stuff. Okay. You can kind of do it. It becomes harder to do it when you're expecting connection, when you're expecting something rewarding. But it's, you just have to go into it with a different sort of mindset, I feel like. But yeah, they do only do small talk. But small talk is also the way, I wouldn't initially jump the gun and be like, hey, if somebody's small talking, it means that they're just like they have no depth. They're just like surface, like they're just bots, like they're just NPCs, level zeros. Because you could say that about my friend, but I know that he has, a lot of depth to him. He can talk pretty deep, and he can connect on a deeper level. You know what I mean? So these people do have that capacity. It's just not something that they. It's almost like something that they don't. They, they reserve for just very few people. They don't do that with a lot of people. Um, yeah, but yeah, they do have the capacity to do it, I feel like, but everything starts with I feel like most conversations, unless you're with a person who's like really advanced, you know, most conversations when you first meet somebody, it's going to involve a little bit of small talk. It's very rare that you meet somebody and you guys are cutting right to the meat, the heart of the matter, just like dropping all performances. It's rare. Alice says, when he rants so meditative and peaceful, I'm all in. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I'm the type to ask you your beliefs on God as I help you pick up the groceries you just dropped. That's crazy. That's crazy. That that might be a little too much for me. I don't know about that. Yeah, if somebody like helped me pick up groceries and they were like, "Do you believe in God?" I'd be like, hmm, I don't know. I don't know. I'd be like, "Oh, sure, sure." I mean, it makes things interesting. I'd say that's a more interesting conversation than like, I don't know. These bags at this grocery store, the plastic is just not, you know what I mean? Like the plastic's just not great. Do some small talk to an extent, but when I'm invited to a function and I start anticipating it and just implode, I rant to myself and then just go to it. Are you fairly social, Library Cop? You seem like a social person. It's crazy, but it's interesting. I've been talking to more crazy homeless types because you actually get something interesting from the interaction. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do get something interesting. That's for sure. Not always in the good way. Small talk right now, Marshall. Show me, dude. I'm so bad at small talk. Like I literally, You know, I rarely small talk, so like my small talk muscle is just very atrophied. It's very small. So small. Get it? So man, I'm sore. I'm sore in my chest. I did chest yesterday. All the small things, true care, truth brings. I'll take one lift. You're right, best trip. Always, I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating. It ain't so, will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. Schizophrenics have always known that reality is just a simulation with meat suit avatars. And I hope so. Schizos, they're the true enlightened beings. Library Cop says I'm kind of social, but it's hard for me to make friends. I've always been that way. I'm kind and nice. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, do you just get like mogged? You just get taken advantage of? Or maybe people are just like, oh, she's too nice and kind. She left me roses by the stairs, not the door. She left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares. Some pull-ups instead of small talk, MB? Are you calling me MB now? MB. Everyone start calling me MB now. No pull-ups. No pull-ups unless I'm getting paid. Unless I'm getting paid. I do not do pull-ups for free. What do you think this is? Think I'm a slave? You know what's crazy? I did get copyright struck by what Ghidris, like the Ghidris video that we watched last time. Him singing in the cathedral with his boys, like his ensemble or whatever, dude on the recorder. The fact that they were playing music that's actually like, you know, real music. Those are real musical pieces. YouTube flagged it, which is crazy because it's like, bruh, like this YouTube channel has like 60 viewers. It's like some dude in a cathedral in fucking Romania or what was it, Lithuania? Like, come on, man, copyrighting this. Damn, we got some Blink 182 fans. It shows you guys you're my age, maybe a bit older. Don't waste your time on me. You're already the voice inside my head. Yed. Miss you. Library Cop says I do well in chats, though. I do well in chats. I do really well in chats. Yeah. I can see you saying that in person. Like, yeah, you know, I'm just not really good in person, but I do really well in chats, like chat, like a live stream, like chat room. I'm great. So you should say that in an interview, your next interview. What are your strengths? I'm actually really good in the chat box. of like live streams and stuff. So too funny. Did you install the pull-up bar? Yeah. Yeah, I installed it. Did you not see it earlier? I panned the camera. I showed everybody. Marshall, you are a fuckboy with a philosophical edge. I would agree with that statement. I think that's probably the most accurate statement that's ever been said about me. Meant only for instruction, like how to do a proper push-up. Well, you said pull-up. No, I'm not doing instruction. I'm not doing instructions. I'm not giving you guys tips. What you think this is? Even teachers get paid, bruh. I do really well in chat, so I've got that going for me. Yeah, make that part of your stand-up. It's got to be part of your stand-up for sure. You could make something with that. That'd be hilarious. Chat and real convo is so different. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously. ED preserved you from the wrong girls. That's funny. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's a good silver lining. Avoided a lot of bullets. Yeah, I've considered, doing like a what I eat in a day, trying to be like some fitness YouTuber, as a guy who looks like a fucking loaf of bread. I have hopes. I have hopes that I can get better. But I might do what I eat in a day video. Just completely switch it up. Not sure how many people would be interested in that. Not just people in the chat. I'm sure of the 60 people still here, they would be very interested, but I'm talking the bulk of my subscribers, the people that aren't loyal. I don't know why that didn't. I said loyal and like no sound came out. That was weird. But yeah, gotta be better. Gotta be better. Gotta be better. But yeah, I think after like 3 or 4 days of not eating as many carbs and eating like more protein and more fat, I've already like in the mirror, I've probably just water weight that I've dropped because carbs hold water. But I look leaner. Um, so not bad. Not bad, eh? Huh? Ain't so bad. Do we have any good videos to watch? Sorry. That was. Uh, what the fuck? What the fuck? I just looked at my spam email and it said, oh, never mind. Not even gonna read that. Trash? Spam? Library copy, you told me to look at my email. I don't see anything from you. Nothing new. Still ain't nothing new. Any good videos? I thought I was unsubscribed from this clown. Huh. No. My bad. You know, we get towards the end of the stream when I don't have anything left to say, and why does Wifey Edit hide her face? She's a little off. Wifey Edit doesn't hide her face. Have you ever clicked on one of her videos? Her thumbnail doesn't show her face, but her videos do. Wifey Edit shows her face. Wifey Edit, man. God. You know, the crazy thing about Wifey Edit is she's just, I feel like she's probably one of the smarter women in a sense. She's probably partly right about a lot of things, but she's also just, I feel like she's too much. She swung too far to the other side of the pendulum, you know what I mean? I don't know why, man, but why have you had it? I love her and I hate her. Yeah. The world needs YV edits, you know what I mean? Yeah, but he needs a YV edit, you know. When's the next tennis match? Friday. Friday. In bread we trust. Hilarious. Love yourself, Marshallita. I'll try. I'll try. Let's watch some Regal change, dog. Some Regal change. Oh man. Hey, does anybody have the Never Explain Yourself to Women version 1 video? If you have it, send it. Anybody who's watching this, even on the VOD, not in the live chat right now, but if anybody has made it this far and you're watching this and you somehow are a weird person who downloaded the Never Explain Yourself to Women version 1, it was a video that's no longer posted on my channel, but I had posted it for like maybe a few hours and then I took it down, or maybe like it was like 13 or 18 hours or something like that. If you have it, please send it to my email, because there's somebody who desperately wants it. I could probably make a lot of money by just being like, hey man, I got it for you. How much? Nah, I'd send it to you for free, but dude's literally just has a hard on for it. No. I'll let you post it on your channel, bro. Never Explain Yourself. I'll let you post it on your channel. You can post it on your channel. I won't even post it on my channel. Your nutsack is where the dragon dwells is in my top 3. Sebastian, aren't you gay? You had the gay jams. Are you a gay semen retention? One of the weirdest things, by the way, if you're gay and doing semen retention, that's one of the strangest. Sent? Oh, I should probably exit off of this to look at my email. A hot crazy matrix? Yeah. Don't put me on timeout, please. I mean, we can watch this. I think everybody in the world has seen it. Oops. This is a real thing, though, apparently. Well, it's because, the hotter they are, the less they have to do in other aspects of themselves to get a man. You know what I mean? They don't have to do anything else, because men play such. It's our own fault, because men are so aesthetically attuned. We are just so about visuals. Until we correct that about ourselves, women will not. This will never change. This is just a fact.
Okay, so this is the universal hot crazy matrix. It's everything a young man needs to know about women. I've developed this on my own over 46 years of living on the earth. So this is how it works. You have your crazy axis and your hot axis. Hot is, as usual, measured from 0 to 10. We're all familiar with that. Crazy is measured from 4 to 10, because, of course, there's no such thing as a woman who's not at least a 4 crazy. So you got 4 to 10. This is your hot crazy line right here. Very important that you keep in mind where the hot crazy line is. As a rule, this is your no-go zone. We do not hang around and date and marry women who are not, at least in our mind, a 5. So this is your no-go zone. You don't go here. We just rule this out. Life is better this way. That's the way it is. All right. Above a 5 and to about an 8, and below the crazy line, this is your fun zone. You can hang out here and meet these girls and spend time with them. That's your fun zone. But keep in mind, when you're in the fun zone, you want to move out of the fun zone to a more permanent location. Okay? So that's the fun zone. Above a 5, hot. Below an 8, hot. And below the crazy line. This means these are, most of the time, not crazy. Okay?
Fun zone also means ran through. Just these are the skanks. These are the sluts right here. They're fun. They're fun. Usually have a lot of trauma damage. You know, they're just crazy, but they're a good time. Really good in bed. But you know, hard to make it. Hard to make something. Although in today's world, it's like, bro, nobody's getting virgins anymore. Like all these women have body counts of at least 5 or more, so they're pretty much, it's just is what it is at this point. You gotta take what you can get.
Above the danger zone, above the crazy line, we have the danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany. This is hairdressers. This is where your car gets keyed. You get a bunny in the pot. Your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail. Now that we have some of the chart filled in, we got a couple more pieces to put in. But at this point, understand something. This is not a static environment. This is a situation where you have got to use this matrix over time to develop some reliable data. It's like a dope chart, okay? Because at any moment in time, any woman that you have previously located on this chart can vanish from that location and appear anywhere else on the chart. So what you have to do is over time collect some data, and once you have a cluster of data points, you can begin to consider that reliable. Now, moving on, you have this zone here. This is below the crazy line, above an 8 hot, but still, about a 7 crazy. This is your date zone. You can stay in the date zone indefinitely. These are women that you introduce to your friends and your family. They're good looking and they're reasonably not crazy most of the time. Okay, so you can stay here indefinitely. Now, above an 8 hot and between about a 7 and a 5 crazy, this is your wife zone. Okay? When you meet this girl, you should consider a long-term relationship. This zone is not scaled to size. This is a representation and not an actual.
Scaled to
this
size.
is not a pie chart showing you how many of these people are out there. This is simply a representation of what you're after. You want to be
Smaller
5 to 7 crazy, above an 8 hot. That's your wife zone. Okay. Now, below a 5 crazy and above an 8 hot, this is your unicorn zone. These things don't exist. If you find a unicorn, please capture it safely, keep it alive. We'd like to study it and maybe look at how to replicate that. Okay? So I was explaining this to a guy one time, and he said, wait a minute. I met this girl, and she's like smoking hot. She's like at least a 9, and she's chill. She's totally cool.
No.
She's like not even a 3 crazy. I said, you're telling me you've met a girl, she's a 9 hot, and she's like a 2 or a 3 crazy. He said, yeah, man, I like her a lot. I said, you should be careful. That's a dude, you're talking to a tranny. So you got to be careful, because down here below a 4 crazy and above an 8 hot, you're probably talking to a dude. That is the universal hot crazy matrix.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a really good one. Should probably exit that. Huh? Your ball size says, oh yeah. We have different ball sizes now. Why more men than ever can't get hard. I should probably watch that, huh? Save it to my watch later. Here we are scrolling the internet together. Yeah, I know the women in the chat are definitely awesome. I'm in cluster under wife zone. Allie, you're a unicorn? The women in the chat, where do you think you fall? I'm curious. Wolfwhite, Alla. Alla and Wolfwhite, I'm pretty sure, are females. Library cop, jury's still out. Where do you guys think you fall? Anything but videos. Trust me, I agree. But I can only talk so much, you know? I don't know, Library Cop, you seem like you're more, you seem more and more by the day like you're a woman because you're very expressive and you use emojis and you say things like a woman would. So, although your humor, the fact that you're so funny makes me think you're a guy. I can't imagine not getting hard. I mean, your diet has to be toast. Yeah, that probably has something to do with it, huh? Do men actually think like this? Yeah, I mean, for the most part. I mean, we don't think like that. I mean, you have a general idea of that, yeah. I mean, you intuitively kind of understand that, but it's not something where you would have ever, we don't pull out the diagrams and we don't, this isn't some fucking thing that we bow to every morning. Library is absolutely a woman. Yeah, she seems like it, huh? Reedka says she's a 5 on the crazy matrix and a 4 on the hot scale. Is that what you mean? 5-4? 5/4? Because there's no under 4? Are you a 5 on the hot scale and a 4 on the crazy matrix? So your crazy is the top number and your hot is the bottom number. So everybody, all the women put your crazy number first and then put a slash and then put your hot number on the other side of the slash. All the women have to do it. If you don't, you're not being submissive. We don't want that. We don't want that, do we? Dude, in my group chat, so one of my buddies, well, yeah, one of my buddies messaged the group chat the other day and he had sent some songs and they're just sad boy songs. He likes to get drunk and like send sad boy songs. And so he sent like 3. This was May 16th. My other buddy just now liked or like loved the message and like loved some of these tracks that he sent. Bruh, that's 11 days later. You know what I mean? Like it's just this is what I mean, bro. Like people are just can you even, like I don't really text that group chat anymore because it's just like dudes don't even participate. Yeah, they don't even care anymore. They're just gone, you know what I mean? Like if people don't make an effort, you know what I mean? if you're sending a message and it gets loved or liked like 11 days later, I mean, come on. And that's more insulting than you just never responding to the message. You know what I mean? Just don't respond to the message. Like 11 days go by, please don't respond. If you respond, I take that as a direct insult. That's disrespect. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man. I mean, we've all forgotten about this at this point. We forgot about this message at this point. To like it and to bring it back up for everyone, I mean, that's cold, man. That's cold. Just to bring acknowledgement to the fact that it was 11 days that went by before you even acknowledged it. Oh my God. Are we back? I think we're back. Okay. Oh, okay. It was still streaming. Okay. That's weird. That's weird. The OBS cut out for a second, so I thought everything was doomed. But yeah, dude, I have some buddies that just like is it just you guys, or like I kind of, you know, sometimes it just feels like people, we've been living with phones for a while now. And I think people are kind of getting the idea of like phones. We've run the experiment long enough that now I think most people, they're not really into, like, nobody wants to, like sharing used to be a thing. Like you'd share videos, you'd share like shorts, you'd share links to articles, you'd share memes, share images, you'd share all these things, right? And when phones were in their first like decade or whatever, people would, that was all the rage, right? People were like, oh yeah, this is so cool. Like they would like it, they would respond, everybody would have a good laugh. We would just be sending just garbage back and forth, just like rot content, just back and forth. And, we'd all be having a good time. I think everybody's just exhausted at this point. I think the experiment has been run. I think people have been overshared with. I think people are share exhausted. I don't know if this is just you guys, but in my group chats, bro, like my family, my friends, I really only have two. Like, you don't dare share anything anymore. Like if you share something, you better expect that it will not be viewed. There will be no response to it. It will not even be acknowledged. Like you share, like dudes just ignore things. You know what I mean? Like people just ignore things now, man. Like they just ignore it. And I get it. Because the thing about the phone is that this is not natural. Like people just being able to send you things and expecting you to react to it instantly or in the next 30 minutes or an hour. What do you expect you to do? Most people have upwards of like 50 to 200 people in their phone. Some people a lot more. Actively who they're chatting with or who they're texting on a semi-regular basis, either daily or weekly or whatever. I mean, for most people, it's probably, 20 to 50 or 100. I don't know. Maybe 10 or whatever. I mean, are you supposed to react and like respond and watch and view everything that everybody ever sends you? You know what I mean? It demands so much of your time, so much of your mental bandwidth to react to all these things that I think people have just gotten the idea. They've gotten the gist that they can't do it anymore. They just simply don't have the time or the energy to spend with this stuff. And so now things are just getting ignored, and because things are getting ignored, people are now starting to not share things anymore. You just don't send the video, don't send this, don't send that. You know what I mean? And I totally get it. 200 people on your phone is insane. I agree. I don't have 200 people on my phone. I think in my contacts, I think I maybe have like 30 contacts. And of those 30, I talk to actively. I mean, 2, 4. You know what I mean? 3 of those are like my family members. You know, my phone is dead. You know, it is literally dead. It's notifications for messages, nothing. In my social media, I don't have any social media except for YouTube, and so you know, I'm not getting like dings from Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. Cause bro, you just be on your phone all the time. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck wants to do that? Bro, yes, you have to watch everything everyone sends you, or else you're gay. Yeah, dude. Even Hani didn't reply to you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. You like, even the people who reach out to you first and they're like asking you questions, you know, you respond with like a long, like thought out, like well articulated answer. Like that's all they want you to do, so they can just not respond. You know, like people just. I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I do get a lots of calls about, yeah, I do get lots of calls for like spam calls and stuff. That's basically the only calls that I get are spam calls. And yeah, you know, my phone's pretty dead for the most part. Such a weird time we live in, man. I can't believe Honey's ghosting me, bro. Honey, what game are you playing? What game are you playing? What are you doing to me, girl? Don't mess with don't mess with my mind. Honey is busy in the wilderness and we'll get back to you. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. I mean, the longer this goes on, the more extravagant the excuses are gonna have to become. You know, why are there's like fruit flies flying around me? I don't know why. There's something in a trash that's I don't know. Mhm. She's chopping wood. Maybe maybe she got nicotine poisoning from too many cigars. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she's faded off the fucking drank. That scissor. Maybe she did an ayahuasca trip and just like never came back from it. You know? Who knows what goes on up there in the mountains? There in the mountains, bruh. Isaiah wants me to ban him. Isaiah wants me to ban him. Isaiah just wants some attention, man. Isaiah, you are acknowledged. You're real. You're breathing. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Life is good. Isaiah, what did you do? What'd you do with Honey Ram? You kidnap her? Who kidnapped Honey Ram, bro? I'm dead ass. Isaiah, what'd you do? Maybe she has a boyfriend and wanted it to be private. Well, no, she's married, and if she wanted to be private, she wouldn't have messaged me. Or it was a comment. It was a comment on my video. You know, it's public. It was public, so it was from the jump. It was a public thing. You spoiled it, I guess. All right, Isaiah, you want to get banned? I can't live being ignored. And dude, I just acknowledge you, bro. Yeah, Al is even giving a collective hug and a kiss. Like, come on, bro. It's all good. Isaiah, I can't just talk to you the entire stream though, you know? I have to make a stream for the people. It's not just for you. Hani is busy birthing universes and galaxies from her huge batch. She'll get back to you momentarily. Yeah. She's busy, but she's busy communicating to the other side. She's busy creating worlds. World creation. I'm gonna have to keep the beard. Look. Ooh la. Ooh la. Squirrels. Dude, I love squirrels, man. I love me some squirrels. Volume on this is gonna be whack though. You know it. Is this gonna play? There's hella squirrels back here where I live. Hella squirrels, bruh. And like I always stop and like I want one to like I want to befriend them, you know what I mean? Eventually. Um I never give them food or anything. Maybe I should, but I don't know. I don't want a whole fucking neighborhood of squirrels outside my door in the morning, you know? Attack of the squirrels. But dude, I love squirrels, man. Squirrels are the best. I wish I had a pet squirrel. But yeah, I stop every time I see them and they always like get super close, man. Cuz I feel like they recognize me now, like I've lived here long enough and I always do the same thing. You know, they like to run along the tops of the fences here. There's all these fences and they can run along the tops of them and they love to do that. And they'll just be on top of the fence. And I'll be like, dude, I'll be like 3 feet away from them. And they're just like looking at me. And they'll just stop. And I'll stop. And we're just like looking at each other. Always, bro. It's so cool. We'll just be looking at each other. I'll be like, hi. Hi. And then just, but then like they'll scamper off, and then they'll stop and they'll like look behind them and like keep looking at me. They're so funny, dude. You've never seen a squirrel in real life? What? You got to win their trust first, like everything else. Yeah. I feel like I'm slowly winning their trust. Like they know that I'm not. I don't know. I feel like we're getting closer, but I feel like some food would help. That's the way that you bond with wildlife. You know, if something's truly wild, you have to give them food. Library cop says she almost crashed yesterday for trying to save a baby squirrel. Not lying. The truck behind me ended it. Damn. Moki, I hope you see some squirrels, man. Squirrels are the best. I came here, I pulled up the other day, and I was walking inside and I saw this. What are the orange cats? Are those tabby cats? The orange cat, right? Puss in Boots looking cat. And it was like just, you know, I guess you could say it was just, walking in the grass, kind of hunting. It was just kind of, you know, acting like it wasn't up to something, but clearly it's trying to fucking hunt. And all the squirrels just ran up the tree, and then they turned around on the tree vertically, and they're looking down at the cat, and they start doing alarms. They're like, I forget how the call goes, but it's just they make some weird noise. And the next time they do it, I'll try to like mimic it, but they do some weird noise where like I was like, what is that? It almost sounds like insects or it sounds like birds. But I looked and I saw all the squirrels and they were just all like hawking, just eyeing this cat. And then they all just started doing something, and you could see their throats moving. They're just making these sounds, trying to alert everyone. There's a predator in the area. Hey Marshall, your thumbnails for streams look very gay. Are you sure you aren't gay? Love you, let me know. I'm pretty sure I'm not gay. I've jerked off to a shit ton of porn that involves women, exclusively women. So. Dude in your chat is crashing out. Yeah, he always does. It's kind of his thing. It's all good. Isaiah that's his thing, man. Isaiah crashes out. It's kind of just who he is. Come on. She's feeding squirrels muffins? That's crazy. Oh shit, that would be so cool. She even knows who. She's identified certain squirrels, and she's given them names. It's funny. Wow. Dude, they're so cool. Fat, though. She's fattening them up. Raggy. Shaggy is Greta's brother? How do you know this? Porn compilation videos are the best. True. Fortunately, we can't show that on live stream. Dude, they're so like, they're so quick, you know? If you could get it to just like chill with you, if you could get it just to relax with you, that'd be so dope. Because they're so elusive, man. So quick. Just gone in an instant. So skittish. It's awesome. Need a muffin? Yeah, I need a muffin too. I'm in a state where they ban the hub. Just use a VPN, Kenny. Just use a VPN. Use a VPN app. There's a VPN apps. It's banned in my state too. That's what I use. I use a VPN. Look at me trying to help people watch porn. It's crazy. I wonder if the squirrels just did all that or if it was like birds too. I mean, you have to think birds do it too. I mean, you tell me a fucking crow. Tell me it's a fucking crow sees that shit, it's not gonna fucking mog. Ah, crow's gonna mog, dude. Crows mog. Crows mog squirrels all day. I should ask ChatGPT that. Who would win? Crow or squirrel? I feel like, I mean, squirrels are too big to be crow prey. I don't think squirrels really, they don't fuck with crows, or yeah, they don't fuck with crows like that, so. They just kind of cohabitate. They're kind of simpatico. Oh! I love crows too. Love crows. Crows are sick. Super smart, man. Super smart. Crows are super smart. Valiant News sends the $5. Says, have you ever watched the channel Plumes? The guy sings to exotic animals. So cool and relaxing. Interesting. Huh. I have to watch one of those videos. Plumes? Why are you wearing lipstick? I'm not wearing lipstick. What the fuck are you talking about? Mom says that squirrels and raccoons have rabies. I bet she's like, well, no, they don't have rabies. If something has rabies, doesn't it? It looks crazy, doesn't it? Something's rabid. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Aren't they aggressive too? Should we watch? I was gonna click this one, so let's click this one. Am I gonna get copyrighted for this? I better not get copyrighted, bro. I'm so tired of being copyrighted for fucking music. Dude, what's going on with Brave right now? Shit sucks. Pros are not smart. Isaiah, you're not smart, bro. Bro's smarter than you.
Giving all my love to you. My beating heart belongs to you.
Is that a wolf?
I walked for miles till I found you.
Looks kind of small to be a wolf. I think wolves are bigger.
I'm here to honor you. If I lose everything in a fire, I'm sending all my love to you.
These are probably copyrighted songs. I'm gonna get copyrighted for this shit, bro.
Now, my dear, we are two gonna need.
No fucking way, bro. This has to be fake, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. I thought, okay, cool, but like, bro. A rhino? Come on. What are we doing? You telling me this dude's singing, serenading a rhino? Value in you. What is this, bro?
Clinging desperately to winter trees.
Hell nah. Hell no, bro. Oh my god, I would be terrified.
Got up there like a pair of fins, while the sirens play outside. What's left to say when everyone's been spoken? What's left to see when all...
He just goes, just fucking, just kills him. Just sends his horn directly through his throat. Oh, fuck? Since the $5. AI. Rhino just doesn't walk out of the woods to listen to him. Is he in Africa? Is he in a zoo? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, where are you, bro?
eyes won't open. What's left to do when we've lost all hope? And what's left to break when all
Alligators? Come on.
hearts are broken? Or sometimes people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just a touch
That's
of
cool.
a hand.
Who's this King?
Me, I fall
Who is
in
this?
love with
King? Who's the lemur from Madagascar? I know somebody knows it. King from Madagascar. King Julian. Oh, yeah, King Julian, baby. Maurice? Didn't he say Maurice? Wasn't there somebody called Maurice? King Julian, what is this? The 13th? Is the self-proclaimed king of the lemurs in Madagascar, appearing as a ring-tailed lemur. He was originally voiced by Sacha Baron Cohen. It was so good. Is that a song recommendation? I'll look it up on my phone.
You every single day, and I just wanna tell you I am. So baby now, take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Oh darling, place your head on my beating heart, thinking out loud, maybe we found love.
I'm getting demonetized for this, bro. 100%. 100%, bro. Damn, I don't like that you can see all this stuff I've looked up. Oh man, I was looking at the old boys. You guys must know. Should probably explain myself. I was looking at the old semen retention OGs. Warco, self-revealed. Rin, Nick Duval. I hate the internet. It just has a way of betraying you. You know what I mean? Damn it. And Al is always on there for some reason, even though I don't. I looked up her profile for since the one time that I did. How much needed for you to shave your beard? The only way I'll shave my beard is if I don't make $100 in 4 hours while doing a live stream. So, yeah, Isaiah, I'll watch this fucking video, but if it's ass, I'm clicking off. Robbing. What is this? Robbing RM. Robbing sperm banks? By Cannel?
All right. Nope.
This one? Sorry, guys. This is going to be bad.
All right. Eugene forgot to do the disclaimer because he is slow.
No more, though. No more. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this live stream pretty soon. Because once I start doing this and it sets a precedence and everybody sends me all this stuff.
So I'm just going to do it. I'm letting you guys know this is all for entertainment purposes only. Please do not repeat. Any of the props that you see in this video, it's not real. It's condensed milk right here. So enjoy the video.
No way. Eugene?
Salutations.
Bro, we haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been?
Canel hasn't had me in the videos anymore, and you guys forgot about me.
Dang, bro, you're eating out the trash now? Bro, you got no bread or something?
No, I can barely even, like, shave my face.
Dang, bro, I usually wouldn't recommend this, but I'm not gonna lie. You might have to hit a lick or something. Get you back on your feet.
A lick? You know what, you're right. I got a few options. Imagine not knowing Eugene. I'm Eugene Dingleberry, and this is Minutes Across America. Y'all already know, blah, blah, blah. We do a prank in all 50 states. Woo, hoo, 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 hoo. I don't care. This is my episode. We're in Georgia, and tell Canel to bring me back. I need to come. I just need paid me alone. I got 10 minutes.
You got me to eat some sperm, bro?
I thought you knew that.
Thank you, Isaiah, for the 5.
The sperm bank is in here?
Yeah.
Did you donate sperm by chance?
No, I'm trying to. It's my first time.
Oh, you're trying to?
Yeah.
I could buy some off you.
Alright.
How much are you offering?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Like, you can give me some nut?
I guess.
Okay. What's your height?
6 foot.
6 foot? Yeah. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need all of that. I can help.
Out here in the public though.
What do you mean? Tell him to stand up. What do you mean, what's your height? Bro, tell him to stand up. Look at what his height is.
No, not public. Lab public. We can go down the alley or something. Let's go. All right, down here is fine.
Thank you, Isaiah,
right.
for the $50.
You gonna make a move or a moan? I'm gonna
Very
need all this
gracious.
coming in the bag right now. I know you're scared. Let's go ahead and make it quick and easy. I won't hurt nobody. What are we doing?
Waiting for you to leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave with the cum.
You walk around with it. You can go now.
No, I need fresh. Oh,
I don't have any, my bad.
just a quick jerk.
No, I'm good.
Don't try to kick me out. Wait, are you calling the police? Well, no, don't call the police. They do have some.
No.
Let me take that. Let me take that. It's a robbery.
No.
It's a robbery.
No.
Stop. I need to come.
I'm gonna need you to go.
I need to come.
I'm gonna need you to go.
Just need some cum.
I'm gonna need you to go.
No, please. I need to come. This is a robbery. This is a robbery.
Goodbye.
It's a robbery. What are you doing? She manhandled the fuck out of me. Fuck the cops. She is the law. Just the guy we were looking for. We're gonna go ahead and need you to put some of this in here.
Black women, man.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Your creation. If you need help, I got you.
You need help? I got you.
I need your
Your
cum.
creation.
Do you know any boxers or basketball people?
Oh, no.
Because I'm trying to make a hybrid. Imagine,
Boxers.
Like, hooping and hooking.
What do you say? Boxers or
What is this, dog?
I need your cum.
Get out of here, bro.
Do you know any boxers or basketball people?
Oh, no.
Because I'm trying to
Basketball.
make a hybrid. Imagine like hooping and hooking. That's a crazy combination.
That is.
I need you to fork off some fresh product right now. Don't make a moan. Don't make a peep.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't want your cum anyways. Probably shooting blanks, man. Ooh, just the person I was looking for.
All right.
This is a dick up. Don't make any moans. Just give me what I need, and I'll be out of here.
don't make any moans.
That's not what we
This
do.
is a
so
dick
You're
up.
gonna have to just be out of here.
Where's the cum at? Yeah, make this quick. Where's the cum at? Oh, some tissues. You got some condoms.
Anything for attention. Attention is currency. That's right. In 2026.
By chance, do you have any like jujutsu golfer sperm? Because imagine the eagle triangle chokehold. Please don't do that to us. This is supposed to be a robbery.
I'm sorry.
You busted my balls.
Good one.
Thought we almost had one. Fuck. This is a
What the fuck is you doing, bro?
the
Back
cum.
up. Get the fuck back.
This
Back
is
up.
cum.
Back the fuck back, yo. What's wrong with you, bro?
No, I just robbed the
Back
sperm
fuck
bank.
Back. You playing the prank? What the fuck is you doing?
Good one.
Thought we almost had one. Fuck.
What do you do to him?
This is a
What the fuck is you doing, bro?
the
Back
cum.
up. Get the fuck back.
This
Back
is
up.
cum.
Oh,
What the fuck?
he's sussed out by his by his mask. It's broad daylight, bro. What do you mean?
Back, yo. What's wrong with you, bro?
He looked at the camera though. I think he has.
No, I just robbed the sperm bank.
Back. You playing the prank? Good shit, bro.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, you had your guard up.
Hey, yo, I can't. Shit, nigga. Yeah.
Why did they always? Shit, nigga. Dap him up. Why do they always do that?
Oh,
Like they're fucking boys.
Oh, that dog.
oh. Hey, you got two dicks on you.
Put that on camera.
You got two dicks on you. They double strapped out here, man. Damn. He could have robbed me. Bro, he had a Glock on him. Oh. All right, don't move. This is a dick up. Put it in the bag. Put the cum in the bag. Are you shooting blanks? It's okay if you're shooting blanks. Sir, I have money.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Oh, stop. I just
Leave
need,
me alone.
I just need,
Leave me alone.
I just need
Leave
cum.
me alone.
I just need cum.
Leave me alone.
You-
Get the f out of my face, you fuck.
I just need cum. Oh, stop.
Fucking retarded monkeys.
Monkeys.
Just because you want.
Don't call me a monkey.
Both of you are monkeys.
Oh, no.
Because
That was my bag. Who you calling?
the police.
Will they be able to bring some cum too?
Yeah. You should stay here.
The more the better.
This is not an emergency, but
It is. We need cum. So he's shooting blanks and he needs help jerking it because we need some sperm.
Hey, they're running now. They're running away.
Run! Run! Get this. Come here.
Remember, we're
We
not
got
better than
evidence.
this. Yeah.
I gotta get rid of evidence. Come here. Here, take this, take this, take this. What are you doing? Get away, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Oh, come on, let's get the out of here. Oh.
What are you doing?
Why did the most dangerous gang in America have group intercourse with a pig? Find out why after this short... This is confirmed. Breaking news. Earlier today, a man identified as Eugene Dingleberry burglarized a local sperm bank. He got away with 1.6 gallons of various sperm. That list includes Swedish, Ethiopian, indigenous, and little people sperm. If you have any information regarding this man, please contact the Atlanta Police Department for a $5,000 reward. We'll be back after these short messages with our piggy gangbang.
Oh, I gotta get out of here and get rid of the evidence. What you want? I got you.
What the hell is that?
You know what it is.
You a fool, bro. I love the presentation.
You want to try some? It's called nectar. Try some. But let me know. That's life right there.
Damn, you made that?
Yep.
Damn, that is good.
Thank you.
What you gonna do with it?
No, we're selling it. We're trying to let people know that sperm is actually very, very good in like protein. Yeah.
What the fuck you mean sperm?
Like kids?
Huh?
Like kids?
Bro, what the fuck? So you got me to eat some fucking sperm, bro?
I thought you knew that.
No, bro. I don't know what the fuck that shit is, bro. How the fuck I'm eating sperm, bro?
You said it was good.
Cause I thought this shit was ice cream or some icing or some shit.
You can use it for that. Oh, come here, get it.
What is that?
It's the God nectar.
This is the type of guy that just like annoys me to fucking death, bro. Like, I want nothing to do with this fucking guy, bro. This is the type of dude where like if you're his friend, like you'll wake up with like your face like glued to the pillowcase or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just, dude's just weird. But yeah, funny, Isaiah. I might have enjoyed this 10 years ago. Yeah. Well, Isaiah's young, you know, he thinks this stuff is very funny. He doesn't think that it's like, I don't know. It's a bit, I don't know. I don't know. I've just never been a prank person because, like, I don't. I don't know. I don't know. There's just something. There's just something about pranks where I don't like making people feel like that. You know what I mean? Like that guy on the street, that white dude on the street who just like lost it or whatever. You know, like I'm not interested in interactions like that. I'm not interested in people being like, you know, I just don't want to see people get upset in any way, even if it is like a prank, you know. It's like, it's only funny for the viewer. It's not funny if you're the one getting pranked, you know what I mean? Pranks are only funny to the one who's pranking and the people viewing who are not getting pranked. But if you're the prankee, if you're the one getting pranked, you know, not many people are good with just getting pranked, you know. Especially if you don't know that it's a prank. That's the thing. I don't know. I've just never been like a prank person, you know. It's not really my. I don't know how it's different, Isaiah. I mean, it doesn't really seem different than prank videos. Yeah, I know you relate. Yeah, I can see how you relate to these guys. Yeah. I know, I can see how you relate to them. You definitely seem like you are one in the same vein as these guys. You guys are cut from the same cloth. But yeah, I'm not cut from that cloth. Life is one big prank. Yeah, that's probably true. Sebastian, I mean, that music, is it gonna get me copyrighted if I play it? If it gets me copyrighted while I play it, you know, I'll just look it up on my phone. I'll look it up right now, so I have it to listen to later. Is that a song or is it just a video? It's not a song. Oh. I mean, people wanted me to. That shit's cheap. That's just cheap. This is cheap. People think I'm just a video reaction machine. Fucking hate this shit, man. I only do it because I love you.